We were starting our voyage on a small boat to sail across an ocean, the North Atlantic Ocean, from the southern tip of Gran Canaria to the northern tip of St. Lucia on the edge of the Caribbean Sea. Nearly 3,000 nautical miles lay between us and our next sighting of land. Marvellous, aren't it, those big waves?
You want to
Life on the ocean road. Okay, this is a transatlantic journey for Laurence, Jemima and Jonathan. And how many days we ready?
Oh, as long as we get there before Christmas.
After months of preparation and sailing more than 1,700 nautical miles from North Wales, Laurence and his rival 38 Iola were finally at the start of their longest journey together. So it is a rather small space to cook in. It's a challenge, isn't it?
It's a little bit. Yeah, you have to be organised. That's it. This thing here. And like every time I do anything, I'm just like, poof. Garlic. And you crush it like so. And just. There you got your perfectly crushed garlic. And the best thing is, this is super easy to clean.
I like it.
Yeah.
Superb.
Kind of looks a bit like a knuckle duster, but you know,
Oh,
it's the
right.
job done.
Okay. Just beware, she's got a knuckle duster. The watch system Laurence decided to use is commonly known as the mother watch method, where one crew member is on cooking and cleaning duty for 24 hours. With 3 crew, this means once each every 3 days. Mima started her mother watch at 4 p.m. on the day we set off. All deck watches are 4 hours day and night, except during mother changeover, when the watch is 2 hours. Mother gets a full night of sleep, unless an extra hand is required on deck for any reason during a night watch. To avoid glare during the hours of darkness, red light torches are used to see our way around the boat. At night, you wake 15 minutes before your watch and get back to sleep, hopefully 15 minutes after handover. 3.5 hours isn't much sleep and it's precious, so get it whenever you can. The excitement of setting off on our journey subsided as quickly as the land disappeared from view. This was Mima's second full day on board, and first ever night watch at the end of it. Although Laurence was on mother watch, he stayed up to guide her through the new experience. Laurence is just adjusting the position of the fenders, which are stored on the top deck. The idea being that moving them off the saloon hatch allows us to be able to open the hatch as it gets warmer to give us some fresh air inside. Skipper has ultimate responsibility for the safety and welfare of crew and boat. Crew also have responsibility for safety of boat and other crew members. Laurence rightly insisted we wear our life jacket and be tethered when on night watch, and during the day if sea state, wind or weather made moving around the cockpit or deck unsteady. Life jackets are automatic inflation type with integral harness for tether attachment, and they are fitted with whistle, automatic nightlight and personal AIS transmitter. Fishing provides fresh food for those who eat fish. If you're a bit squeamish, please look away. I don't want to offend. Laurence used lures on high breaking strain line attached to a bungee cord with a shackle to secure the bungee to a stanchion. A landing net was close to hand when it was needed.
That's well.
Laurence gutted and filleted the small skipjack tuna using a very sharp, thin fish knife.
Roly-poly fish heads.
Later we caught another. That's enough food for a good evening meal.
Oh my god, it's the same one.
Uber competitive.
This is your home.
But it can't be because I've already got.
I was doing so well.
Yeah.
So fish for dinner?
Looks like it. Drinking water is precious at sea. The Rival 38 has 2 freshwater tanks to carry 400 litres, and Laurence added 4 20-litre jerry cans. The supply must last for at least 4 weeks, and so, to make sure we got into the habit of being careful and didn't overuse water, there is a 10-litre day can at the base of the companionway to measure daily usage. The aim is to use no more than 5 litres each per day for tea, coffee, drinking, cooking and personal hygiene. Over 4 days of use, the day can trained us in being frugal with fresh water. Then we switched to using the pump tap from the tank. Preparing food on a rocking and rolling monohull should be listed as an extreme sport. It's something you get used to after a while, but rogue waves will catch you out. Handle sharp knives and hot liquids with great care. Before we left, Jemima had devised a list of meals and a shopping list to match. Although we didn't stick rigidly to the plan, nearly all suggested meals were prepared and eaten during the voyage. Lunches were inventive, often using leftovers. Fresh vegetable and fruit ingredients were used first, meat was kept in a small freezer. Later in the voyage, tins and dried ingredients were used. Laurence wasn't sure how much gas we'd use on the voyage, so there are 3 spare butane gas bottles, but the oven was off limits because it takes longer to warm up and uses more gas than the stove-top burners. Mavis, this is for you. I'll show you a video when I get home. That's Jemima in the background. We're on the Iola, and we've got up top, this is Laurence the skipper.
Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for the cake.
We're about to cut into Katie's cake. I know it's not Christmas yet, but we were allowed to cut into it before we get to Christmas. Well, would you look at that? That's beautiful. Thank you, Katie. The AIS system shares the VHF antenna and displays the position of other vessels in range that are transmitting AIS data. It is an important safety system which identifies vessels and calculates the closest point of approach. This is information used to aid prevention of collision at sea. Sailing yacht Albatross called up and advised us that we had disappeared from their screen, even though we were in their line of sight. Our VHF unit had overheated, but once cooled and reset, the unit operated correctly and Albatross confirmed that we were back on screen. That's pretty good. Do you want to get any more out of it? As wind increases in strength, sail area is reduced by reefing down the mainsail and partially furling the genoa. Laurence set up a tweaker to pull the genoa sheet off the guardrail. This was done to prevent chafing, which is a common cause of rigging failure on long passages. Are you clipped on?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Good.
Safety first.
What's the
Badger.
bettor's name?
Badger.
Badger. No,
It's
no,
my
so
name as
imaginative.
well.
your bet. It's your name as well. We can't have two badgers on
It's
board.
Badger and Badger.
That's not.
That's why we get along so well.
Is it a well-travelled badger?
Not yet, no. This is the beginning of Badger's travels.
Right.
Badger was a bit ill-used yesterday because I was stuffing him into the cupboards to try and like make this knocking noise stop.
Without.
So I gotta like,
without
you know,
effect.
yeah, without effects, so in vain.
Because it was actually the spinnaker pole.
Yeah.
So have you any thoughts about that, Skipper?
Well, we hadn't planned for a fourth crew member. Besides the hydrovane, we just need to check the water ration. And try and drop the game.
Okay. I'll leave it as it is for the moment while you're on deck. Whenever a sail change is required, Skipper talks through the plan before we start, then Jemima helps on deck with lines, halyards and sheets. The plan is to bring down the main, centre the boom, and then deploy the staysail on the opposite side to the genoa. We're sailing downwind. We need a little bit more manoeuvrability that the main is actually preventing us from having. So if we go wing on the bow, that will give us a little bit more manoeuvrability and we can change the course to go on the heading we need to go on. And also get a bit more comfort by riding along with the swell. The wind has changed a little bit this morning, so we're not really riding with the swell anymore, as you can tell. I stay in the cockpit to change our heading, ease or tension lines, and be there if anything serious happens to the skipper, such as a man overboard situation. If I can put a preventer at the end of this boom, sails provide the greatest power to move the boat, much more than the propeller under engine power, and the wind is free. 2 blue sheets in the forepeak. That's 1. That's 2.
Check to see whether those blue sheets are longer than this one.
Right. That's the end of the sheet you just gave me. That's the blue sheet. Yeah, maybe 3. Alright. However, sails can help or hinder depending upon choice of sail and how much sail area is deployed. Reefing reduces sail area and must be done ahead of suspected stronger winds. The rule of thumb is this: if you thought about reefing down, do it. Don't wait. It's much harder, sometimes near impossible, to reef a sail when a strong wind is upon you. Laurence has a number of sails on Iola, and we use nearly all of them during the voyage. The main halyard and reefing lines are controlled at the mast for hauling, reefing and dropping the mainsail. The genoa is fitted to a furling drum with sheets and furling line controlled from the cockpit. Other sails are hauled from the mast with control sheets running back to the cockpits. The poles to pole out the head sails also have uphauls, downhauls and guys in order to keep them in position.
Pulled onto this side, we would have got hit by the sheets or the rod. So on the power of the staysail, when you're putting it up, you have to have a sheet on.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's clogged.
At night, when on watch alone, the last thing you want to be doing is reefing the mainsail or changing a headsail. So we did this before darkness fell. The staysail is hanked on to a Dyneema inner forestay tensioned to the spinnaker halyard, and the sail is hauled up using the staysail halyard. Sheets run back to the cockpit. Overnight, the strength of the wind misshaped a stainless steel ring used to attach the tweaker hook. Laurence found the problem during the early morning rigging inspection. He made 2 soft shackle low friction rings, which are stronger, run smoothly and work well. So show me the finished product. Very good. And what are we calling it?
Tweaker end. That was what it's replacing.
Yeah,
So
that should have been round.
A little bit stronger.
Yeah. I don't know if it's my imagination, but the seawater coming out of the seawater pump tap, it was warmer.
On the instruments this morning, we were saying it was 24 degrees.
Okay, that hasn't changed really then, has it?
Seawater temperature.
Yeah, 2 flying fish. Have you ever cooked it? Flying fish obviously landed on deck and flailed around trying to get back into the sea. Flying fish is a strange thing. If ever there's an example of evolution from one species to another, and also the fact that everything evolved from the sea, then these creatures really are showing what happened. Let's have a look. The smaller one at the back, really intact. Now these things can fly above the sea for about 50 metres. And they do actually flap their wings just like a bird. Amazing to watch. Jemima have been eating nuts again.
Night snacker.
Night snacker, yeah. So in 1895, Joshua Slocum, with his round the world solo sail, recorded picking up the flying fish off the deck and cooking them for breakfast. We're over 700 miles in now to the journey of 2,800 miles, and yeah, so it might be actually less than 2,800 because we're taking the shortcut. Hopefully the wind stays with us. It's been a rock and roll night, didn't get much sleep. What have you been doing, Jemima?
Please no, it's my first attempt. I'm trying to organise this fish. Well, it's taken me about 4 buckets of seawater so far because it keeps going everywhere. And I've done a small one, this was my practice one, so I'm hoping the bigger one ends up better if it doesn't end up back in the sea somehow.
Mama,
Yeah?
what meals have we had so far? I'm down here with a chart table.
Chicken fajitas.
You made one with spinach, didn't you?
Oh yeah, the mushroom spinach linguine thing. Thai green chicken curry. Fish a la Jonathan. Cauliflower cheese. Jonathan?
Yeah.
Can I borrow you, please?
Yeah, 1 second, I've just got the fridge open. Tell me.
What the fuck is it? So impractical! Ah!
Trying to make a whistle.
You're nuts.
Try my right.
Definitely. Yeah, it took a while to get in the right position. And you're going to lift it up over. The step.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going so fast.
If we get in like another one or two, then it will be more obvious for something to make. But I don't. it'd be like a little bit on the side as it stands at the moment. But that's
What, a
okay.
mixture of flying fish and mahi-mahi?
Well, fish stew.
Well, they're two fish that I've never eaten before.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah, we used to let the poles go forward, basically let the sheets just fill the wind that would slow the boat down
Yeah.
and give us a chance to actually land it without whipping the hook out of the fish.
So are you going to cut it?
I mean, I will. I can. I mean, I will try.
This guy here will instruct you.
Yeah, I mean, let's do it that way.
One mahi-mahi will be like beautiful. You're going to learn how to cut it.
Challenge of the day accepted.
You know what's impressed me most? You still got your sunglasses on your hat. Good. What are you making?
Oh, don't. I've got onion eye. Caribbean fish curry with the mori,
Mahi-mahi.
mahi that we caught today.
Okay. What's happening with the flying fish?
I haven't even thought about them yet. to be
Oh,
honest.
right, okay.
I'm just going to chuck them in a pan
Yeah.
when I've got this on the go, and then we'll just eat them.
Because we're interested to know about the taste.
Yes.
Yeah, the key thing is be careful with knives and pans with hot stuff in.
Yeah, I mean that's a good idea anyway. In general life.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is usually when I'm cooking, I'm like drinking and dancing at the same time. I can't be doing that here in this environment.
Yeah. Feed 6 people. Okay, so that's I'll come past you.
Yeah.
We survived the first week together, found our feet, had some fun, and learnt so much about the challenges of living on a small boat floating on the ocean. We thought we were doing well, but would the second week be plain sailing? Prediction were correct. Would we be sailing now? They all drowned?
The 5 of them, I think.
Wow.